Welcome to the first ever outdoors episode of Gridiron Junkies. I'm your host, George Carmona, and today I'm joined by Shawne Merriman again, dude. What's up, Shawne?
I'm good, man. Look at me. I got hands, right? I used to play wide receiver and tight end back in the day, so.
Okay. So that was going to be the first question, all right? Like, why not offense? Like, what happened in your career that they were like, all right, let's put your big ass on defense?
I like to hit people, man. You can't hit people on offense.
That is true.
So,
but like tight end blocking, like, is that where you found
yeah,
a little
that
love?
wasn't gonna do it for me. I was looking for people to hit, man. I didn't really care too much about the ball, but
were you a hit with your head first kind of guy?
You know what, man?
Hands?
I think that like before the rules and all that changed, it was not leading with your helmet, but nobody's making a big deal about it either. Like if your helmet was just in a tackle, who really cares, right?
No, and that happens like anyways. I mean, you still see hits today. Here's the thing, new helmets make you feel like a fucking gladiator.
Right.
Marcus Mariota's helmet from when he won the Heisman in 2016 is the most padded helmet I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you use the helmet, just the helmet, it's a weapon, right? It really is. And that's why they, kind of went about it and changed a lot of the rules, because they know guys flying in there 15 plus miles an hour with their helmet is lethal. For both guys, by the way, for both guys, not just for the offensive player, but for the defense too.
Yeah. All right, we're going to hold here. Oh, of course. Of course. Car. Did people used to say you hit like a truck?
Yeah. I heard
that's
that.
kind of fitting right there. That just happened. You hit like a garbage truck, dude. We had you on a couple other shows this morning. You were talking a lot about like technique and more technical players as opposed to just overall athletes.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a technical player, or you were like an explosive athlete?
I was more explosive than anything else, man. I was, being, 6'4", 265, 70 pounds, and having an explosion off the line of scrimmage, it was hard. You couldn't really do much with that. And so I knew that if my takeoff was sharp, if I had a strong takeoff, everything else is going to happen, right? I can go into your one-arm stab, to your bull rush. I can try to go around you, put my foot in the dirt and coming back under you, because at that size and being able to do that, it causes a lot of problems for offensive guys.
So my brother plays left tackle at San Jose State. He tells me he can deal with the bull rushes all day.
Yeah.
But it's those technical guys that they toss their size out of the window.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, no, I got to get the hand fighting in. How do you feel about Aaron Donald with the knives? You see him training with knives? What the fuck's that?
So, obviously because I'm in the MMA side now, and just getting a chance to train with a lot of these MMA guys, your hands is so important. So like what makes Aaron Donald the player he is because he's so active and violent. Some dudes use their hands and they know how to get off blocks and do whatever, but when you're violent to the point where like offensive tackles don't want to put their hands on you anymore because you're beating up their forearms. You're beating up their forearms. And so when you get that, what I like to call like a violence of a pass rush, you're very, very hard to deal with. So Aaron Donald has the active hands and also the leverage and the takeoff, because he's a shorter guy.
And he comes right up through
And he comes up, and so you see him, in a sense, forklifting a lot of these guys off of the ground because his leverage, and so his explosion, because as a pass rusher, everything's about your takeoff. And so when you take off and you have that explosion coming out the blocks, and you have leverage, and you got hands, I mean.
I've always heard this little argument about people that have changed the game, and that's what makes a great. Aaron Donald fits in that category, yes?
Yeah.
Like for D-tackle changing the game?
Look, you can make the argument of a lot of great interior guys at the D-tackle position. Aaron Donald's the best D lineman ever played the game, especially when it comes to interior.
100%.
Like he's the best, and that's saying a lot because there's been some great ones, to play the game. But what he's done now, he's almost in a sense. See, as an outside linebacker and pass rusher, it's easier to change the game, right? Because you're a pass rusher, you're coming off of the edge, you can go for the quarterback. When you can change the game as an interior guy, you're dangerous.
Yeah.
Because in fact, you're the closest one to the football, if you think about it, right? As an outside linebacker, defensive end, you have a long
haul,
a long way to go.
A little further away.
If you're able to disrupt that way from the interior D lineman, you're dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's He's a game wrecker, man. Hey, you had a crazy college coaching staff. You kind of were leading me on to that. Tell me about all those coaches that you had, running back, linebackers coach at Maryland.
Yeah, so we had Coach Mike Loxley, who's the head coach. We had James Franklin. You got the jersey on.
I got the Penn State jersey on right now.
James Franklin was the wide receiver coach, and the running back coach was Bill O'Brien.
You had the NFL acumen. Oh, yeah. And now, so how soon after that did those coaches leave to the
It was a couple years after. It was a couple years after that everybody got, head coaching jobs somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because when you have a coaching staff on that level, guys are going to get called, right? And we were winning a lot of football games. We were a very good team. And so everybody kind of saw us, and before you know it, everybody started becoming head coaches somewhere.
That's pretty memorable. Do you have any stories about how they would act on road trips and shit?
Oh man, me and Coach Bill O'Brien used to get in it all the time.
I would imagine linebacker, running backs coach.
Yeah. We would have these one-on-one running back drills, and we'd go out and dog the running backs. And so Bill O'Brien was a talker, man. He talked back to you, and he'll kind of get under your skin and go back, which I like, man. I like that back and forth, especially from the coaches. But they were all great coaches, man. I got an opportunity to play for some great guys.
James Franklin, he's always seemed like a player's coach to me.
Yeah.
Did he baby the shit out of those receivers?
No, not really, man. Honestly,
he was tough on them?
Yeah, he was tough. James Franklin was tough on the wide receivers. And we had some really good wide receivers, by the way. And he was making them run everywhere. Some days you would see them on the side just nonstop running. And, he was the toughest on the wide receivers than he was on anybody else.
We're in the midst of training camp right now. I've been seeing a lot of training camp fights. What was the wildest training camp fight that you ever had? Because now teams play each other. Did that happen back in the day too?
No, they didn't. They had no joint practices.
So now they have joint practices. Shit's getting electric. Was there any wild moments that you had as a player?
I don't know, man. I was good for at least a fight every camp.
You were good.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. I was good for a fight.
Were you a helmet puncher? You're like, fuck the helmet, I can go through it.
The one time that I actually was stupid enough to go and punch one of the offensive linemen in the helmet. And I did a big haymaker swoop. I missed, right? I was so out of line, he just touched me a little bit and I fell. Because I was trying to swing. But you know what? I'm glad I didn't connect because I would have broke my hand.
How hard
I was swinging, I would have broke my hand.
Fighting on the same team, healthy or unhealthy?
I just, okay, so I look at it when you're on a team, it's family, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody in there is family. You end up spending more time. You end up spending more time with guys in that locker room sometimes than you do your own family. And so what happens is you get very close to one another. And then too, people forget this. You're seeing the same person every day, all day. And so it doesn't take much, right? You're away from your family. If you're in a hotel or you're in some college dorm or whatever, you're away from your family.
Yep.
Your practice is a lot of stress. You're practicing twice a day. You're trying not to mess up. You're trying to get everything right. And on top of that, you get an offensive lineman just to push you a little bit too long after the play. And then it's on.
Oh, I like it. So fair to say you were the one being pulled off of people.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people that are telling guys to stop? Do you feel like they should let the fight go? Let the shit die off?
I think that I saw Travis Kelce the other day. He had a couple fights, right? And Andy Reid came out and said that it's a waste of time, this and this. And yeah, what you don't want to do is promote it.
Right.
You want to make sure, because if you promote it and you don't stop it, then the team becomes undisciplined. Because whatever you do in practice is going to translate over to the game, right?
Yep.
Guys going to be thinking that fight is okay, but that fight is not only going to get them ejected, but it's going to get you a 15-yard penalty as well and hurt the team. So I don't fault Andy Reid for saying that, because you can't say, hey, I like to see guys, scrap and getting after it and competing, right? Because you want to see guys compete. And when guys are competing on that level, fights it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You want to win. It's competitive in nature and I feel like it's also, you get to see who your boys truly are.
Right.
I feel like once you got into a couple of things, you knew who the first two people were to show up to be hey, back the fuck up of Shawne right now.
Right.
Shawne's my dude.
I think, look, I've been in a fight with guys and in practice, and by the evening we were home playing Xbox, playing NBA 2K or Madden.
That's it, dude.
So I think that at the end of the day, you become family, you become a brotherhood. And anybody can say they never had a fight with family members, it's crazy. You had a fight with somebody in your family before.
Facts.
And that's what happened in the locker room, man. You get into it with your brother, and that happens.
You had a pretty winning college career. Did you make it any bowl games?
Yeah, I played in the Peach Bowl and 2 Gator Bowls.
Did you guys win those games?
Yeah, we beat Tennessee like 30-3. Yeah, this one they had like Jason Witten, Clausen. I mean, they were stacked.
Do you have anything you want to ask me?
I'm
being
good.
a football guy?
I'm good.
Am I not interesting enough, Shawne?
No, it's just hot as shit out here.
It is hot as shit. Oh, a last question.
Yeah.
Two-a-days.
Yeah.
Did you have to live through two-a-days?
Oh my God. Dude, see, if I was playing now in today's game, I would have played it 5 more years. Because back then we had 2-a-days back to back, two practices a day, every day for a month. And so the one day that you got a chance to get off and go to, like they used to take us to a water park or something, you're like, you just made it out of prison.
I think they made the right choice and no more two-a-days.
Yeah.
It's a players' league. I think even the coaches hated it too. Set up a practice twice. You're watching film of guys that aren't even full fucking go.
Well, you know, what they're realizing now, to be honest, is the offseason is all year round. OTAs, you got your off-season workouts with the teams. You're in the building even for the most part during the off-season, still training and working with the team. And so having to beat your body up 2 days, 2 times a day, right, against each other, you realizing guys get into the season like beat up, right? There's 17 games now, 17 regular season games. And so to make it through that, like you gotta be healthy. And look at over the course and the history of football, the most successful teams, the guys that are healthy when they get later on during the season. And so you want health more than a guy saying, hey, he's not ready. Look, you got a long time to get prepared.
Before they say, oh, he's not tough. Shawne's not tough. He's not trying hard in the second practice. Like, come on.
Right.
Come on, coach. Come on, Wade. Wade Phillips, man. That was a legend in your eyes.
Yep.
Another legend you always talk about is Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So, like, do you have nightmares of Omaha? Omaha!
He wasn't with the Omaha back then when I played.
What was his favorite call back in the day?
You know, with Peyton, man, he would scan the field. So what he would do is he would watch the cornerback and wide receiver to that side all the way to there and everything in between. And so he knew what we were doing all the time. And so I get it. Tom Brady will go down as the greatest quarterback, man, but my top quarterback will always be Peyton.
Definitely not given the credit that he deserves.
Right.
I just feel like there was a lack of athleticism that kind of like turns people off. Shawne, it's like 110 degrees outside. We're in Las Vegas. Thank you so much
for
being my first NFL player to play catch with, bro. This was fun. Appreciate it. Gridiron Junkies, make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe to all your friends. And stay tuned for more fun content like this.